the Giants, the second game of the series. It'll be Jordan Lyles for Colorado, Jake Peavy for San Francisco. Jenny Kavanaugh back out in center field. I want to bring in our play-by-play team now. Drew Goodman and Jeff Houston. Drew, happy birthday. We can't forget about that one. And as your birthday present, I give you Cargo's hot start to the season, hitting well over 350 with 3 home runs. You got to love it.
You got to love it, and he's been overshadowed a little bit by the Trevor story.
I like that. I did. I liked it very much.
But Cargo's off to a fantastic start. Now, if you recall last year, Jeff, he had the great opening series in Milwaukee, but the knee still wasn't right. It took him a couple of months to gain traction. He looked great in spring training. He's looked great the first, week 10 days of the season as well.
That's because he didn't have to rehab the knee surgeries that he had the year before. He could focus just on the baseball activities. Played a career high 153 games last year. Comes into camp just looking marvelous. Back to the Cargo that you're expecting to see. The first half of last year, a lot of guys would take the numbers at 259, 13 home runs. But remember, you only had 4 home runs going into the 1st of June. Then it started to roll a little bit. Second half, it just took off, ends up with 40 home runs, 3rd best in the National League. This season, carrying it on. We know about his power, obviously, and the pull side, it is really good. This ball was just hammered out in about 2 seconds, a launch angle around 14 or 15, all the dramatics of analytics, but he also is hitting the ball where it's pitched. He takes the ball on the shift, hits a single, just a bullet to left field, and then just for good measure, I'll throw in some home run power that way too. So for Cargo to be able to hit it from foul pole to foul pole like we talk about, tells you that the legs, body, everything is working together.
Let's not forget, 2010 he won a batting title, and you can't win a batting title only using half a field.
No.
As you've been saying, he's using the whole ballpark right now. Cargo's going to have a monster year. He had a monster year last year. He's going to have a monster year this year. He is right on track. So the Rockies trying to get even this series with the Giants. Jordan Lyles for Colorado, the veteran Jake Peavy for San Francisco. It's Colorado and San Francisco. Come on back to Coors Field with us. It is another beautiful night at the old ballpark. Always good to be at Coors Field. The Rockies and Giants. The Giants won the first matchup of the year last night, 7-2, behind a 13-hit, 3-home run attack. And the Rockies will try to counter today. Denard Span will lead things off again, the former National and former Minnesota Twin in his first season in a Giant uniform. Jordan Lyles will take to the hill, and what is imperative for all pitchers, but particularly for Jordan tonight, strike one.
He only got ahead of 4 batters in his last outing against Arizona.
First
Good
pitch
start
swinging,
there.
yeah, and it's hit sharply right at Ben Paulson. He'll take that every time. 1 pitch and 1 out, and Jordan Lyles has only defeated the Giants, who he one time, and that's back when he was pitching for the Astros.
And 1-2 with a .581 ERA against San Francisco. In his last start against San Diego, I said Arizona a minute ago, San Diego, the home opener, 3 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs. Had a clean first inning, had a ground out, strikeout, an easy fly ball, but then it was downhill after that.
And the second pitch is right in there for a strike. 0-1 on Joe Panic. 68 degrees our game time temperature. Warmer considerably than last night. And that fastball tails off the outside corner at 94. Velocity, never been an issue. Jordan's blessed with a great arm. He's a tremendous athlete. He was 93 to 96 at times the other day. It's just, as you said, he was behind virtually every hitter. Panic pops this up on the infield. Trevor Story, DJ LeMahieu, and it'll be DJ. Here's the Southwest Airlines batting order for Bruce Bochy's team tonight. It is identical to last night with one exception. Obviously, Jake Peavy is doing the pitching. He'll bat 9th. Hunter Pence enjoying his birthday today. 276 average, drove in 4 yesterday. And Trevor Brown has 3 hits this year, all home runs for the rookie.
Most he ever hit in a career in the minor leagues was 3 in 1 season.
That is a violent swing from Hunter Pence. You know what's interesting is that the Giants are coming out really aggressive against Lyles, and you think, well, maybe the game plan will be the opposite because he struggled to throw strikes.
But not tonight. He swings at the first pitch. Denard Span swung at the first pitch off the mask of Rob Drake, the home plate umpire. Just making sure everybody's okay. That's one way to get in the ball game. 5 pitches in.
I was pretty sure that wasn't going to be another fastball. It was a cutter, and where was that? That looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yes, it did. I didn't think it was high.
Boy, that's another good cutter. And that pitch was in there.
Yeah, you see on the Subaru strike zone.
Hold on. Hunter, you're out. You're done. Rockies, get off the field.
if it only was so easy.
And this sharply on the ground to the wrong guy. Look at Nolan just showing off early. Out of baby Nolan Arenado. Great start for Jordan Lyles. Handful of pitches as he navigates the first frame, and we'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back to Coors Field. 7-pitch first inning for Jordan Lyles. That's exactly what he was looking for. And now the Rockies will go to the bat rack. It'll begin with Charlie Blackmon, as it generally does. Here's the Southwest batting order this evening for Walt Weiss. Trevor Story will bat second. Cargo running a 17-game hitting streak dating back to last year. He'll bat third. Then Nolan Arenado, Gerardo Parra, Nick Hundley, Ben Paulson, who came to the ball game late in the double switch yesterday. He'll start at first base. He'll bat seventh in front of DJ, who's hitting .462. Jacob Edward Peavy will be 35 in May. One of the great competitors in this great game of ours. I love watching this guy get after it.
A career 147 and 117, ERA of 3.54.
This ball's belted to right center field. Pence, I don't know if he sees it. He does not. It takes one hop off the wall. Charlie is going to have himself a triple. It was well hit, first of all, but second of all, it was right into the sun for Hunter Pence, and you can tell he never tracked the baseball.
He'll look up, then he looks back down, looks up again, back down, trying to find out where the wall is. So he takes off. Now he's in trouble. Can't see it, tries to make the adjustment. And now, because of that extra height on the wall of the Subaru Supermole, instead of it being a double, it's a triple.
That's a wonderful point. It's the first time that wall has come into play. It's supposed to, limit offense. Here it actually aids the Rockies. That's a marvelous point, because you're right. It would have bounced over the old wall. It would have been a ground rule double. Instead, the Rockies have a runner at third, nobody out. And Trevor Story takes strike one. Yesterday, first hitless ball game for Trevor. First ball game without an RBI in his career.
And for this first at bat for Trevor, I think he's got to go up there looking for a pitch away, because that's where they painted all last night. It was everything on the outer third, and there it is.
And as you said, and that's right where Trevor Brown set up. Jeff Samardzija was outstanding last night. The Giants naturally thought so, but more importantly, the Rockies hitters all today, a bunch of guys we talked to said that's the best stuff we've seen all year.
Spring training, first outing, what they'd seen on tape. He dealt.
He had a nasty cutter last night. He got Story 3 times on 94-mile-an-hour cutters, and that's exactly what Peavy tried to throw right there. And I talked to Trevor a little bit tonight in the clubhouse, and he has a great attitude. Those guys practice too. I mean, the guy threw 3 Hall of Fame pitches against him.
Yeah, it's batter against pitcher. Sometimes they're going to win, sometimes you win.
Here's the 1-2. And that's down 2-2. Jake Peavy in his first outing went just 5 innings, gave up some runs on 10 hits and a no decision against the Dodgers. 4 runs in those 5 innings, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. 2-2, an RBI out there for Story. Infield's back naturally, and this will get the job done. Well hit to right. I don't know if Pence sees this one. He does, and the RBI streak starts anew. 1-0 Colorado. Very nice piece of hitting, and Huey, to your observation, a real good job of adjusting away.
And he did. He took that pitch. It was down and away from him. Instead of trying to hit it out to left field, he's going to take the changeup on the Subaru Supermo. See how he has to drop that upper half to get down into a better swing plane to elevate that baseball. And Trevor, what an adjustment from last night to tonight.
His league-leading 13th RBI. And now here's Cargo with a run in and 1 out. And Cargo takes a strike. He's faced Peavy 7 times, looking for his first hit against Jake. Cuts that one in on his hands. It's 0-2.
You'll hear Peavy grunt on his throws. Pretty max effort type of pitcher. But this guy is a Cy Young Award winner in 2007, 3-time All-Star, Gold Glove.
Cargo rifles it down the line into the corner. Extra bases. Hunter Pence has to wait till it never came around the corner. And it'll be a triple for Cargo. Second triple of the inning for the Rockies.
That corner down in right field is probably as tricky as anything. As a right fielder, you're going over there thinking, well, if I cut it off too much, then it might get by me. Cargo takes a slider off the end of the bat on the Subaru Supermo and deposits it in the corner. But Hunter Pinson plays it off that wall thinking that it'll kick around, but it just sits down, allowing Cargo to have his first triple of the season.
So here's Nolan. That's the 35th triple of Cargo's career. Earlier in the inning, Charlie Blackmon produced his 15th career triple. Good pitch to hit there, fouled straight back. Cargo now has an 18-game hitting streak. Of his 35 triples, by the way, for Carlos, only one came in an Oakland uniform. The 34 triples is a Rocky. 3 behind that fleet first baseman, Todd Helton, for 4th on the all-time Rockies list.
That might be the first time and only time you say that about Todd.
Yes. Actually, you know, growing up, he ran
Yeah,
well. He was a center fielder. And this ball punched up the middle. Crawford has it. He gets the out at first. But Cargo scores, so Nolan has his 6th RBI. That's why we always say it's so important, man. You got a runner at third, get the ball in play. With 2 strikes, it happened for Story, and it just happened for Nolan. Here's the San Francisco Giants defensive alignment. Pagan again in left field, and Art Span, Hunter Pence, Duffy, Crawford, Panic, and Belt in a very good infield defensively. And Trevor Brown, who was an infielder in college at UCLA and then converted to catcher. Caught a little bit in college, only about 20% of the time.
Played some second base, played some first base. But when he did catch, he had Garrett Cole was on that staff. Trevor Bauer.
Some big arms. This ball pulled down the line. This is headed to the corner. Pence was way over in right center field. Parra is going to stop, however, at second, which with 2 outs is the wise thing to do. And Stu Cole is such a fine third base coach. He put up the stop sign. So 3 extra base hits in the opening frame for the Rockies.
And they had 31 extra base hits of their 65 hits. Now here's Hunter Pence way up in the corner up here, right over here. And see how far he has to run to get to this baseball. I mean, he's almost had to call an Uber to go get that ball.
It was a long way. Nick Hundley against a guy he knows well, Jake Peavy. One and one. Nick first came up in 2008, got 60 ball games, 78 ball games the next year, 2009. 2009 was the last year in a Padre uniform for Peavy, so they overlapped a couple of years. Parra is at second base with a 2-out double. Rockies have 2 runs in the book already. How about this stat? You want to talk about oddball stats. In the Giants' first 8 games, they're 6-2. They've come from behind in all 6 victories because the team that has scored first in their 8 games has lost every game. So the 2 times this year that the Giants scored first, they lost. And that is 1 short of a record.
And last year they had 27 come from behind victories.
The A's in '77 had that occur in their first 9 games. But I still think it feels good for the Rockies that they scored first and scored a couple at least.
I'll worry about that later. I want to jump out to the lead. I always felt like, make the other team play catch up too.
Yeah, play from ahead. 2-2, and this ball's looped to left center field. It's got to get down. Pagan able to cut it off to end the inning. So the Rockies, 3 extra base hits, a pair of triples. Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez, and the Rockies have an early 2-0 lead as we go to the 2nd.
And that's because Carlos Gonzalez was in the mix. He had himself a triple and scored a run. This goes back to last season. Cargo is now hit in 18 straight games. You see DJ on that list as well. And when you think about Carlos Gonzalez, of course he's talented, but there's another reason why he is seeing and hitting the ball so well.
I feel good and I feel healthy, so I'm going out there and looking for my pitches. You know, if they made a mistake, I'm going to take advantage, and things are working. So, you know, I'm enjoying my moment. You know, baseball's fun. So when I'm healthy, baseball's fun.
Yeah, you see you smiling. You know he's having fun. It's all about that left knee. It's finally healthy, and he can really push off. Hitting .391 in that 18-game hitting streak, guys.
Yeah, Cargo's in a great place. And I think ever since about June the 4th last year, he got locked in. He felt comfortable.
We could trust that he could stay on his backside, his back leg.
It's a high pop up to shallow left. Long run for Parra, and he'll get there. Easier coming in than going out. Here's the Rockies defensively. Parra, Blackmon, and Cargo in the outfield. Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story on the left side. DJ LeMahieu and Ben Paulson on the right side with Nick Hundley doing the catching. Tomorrow's a day game. And the Rockies, after the ball game, will head immediately to Chicago. They'll play 3 day games against the Cubs at Wrigley over the weekend. Matt Duffy at the plate. And he takes strike 1. Nolan will cut this one off. Easy play, 2 outs. Rockies fans, you can join in on the conversation this year. As always, send us your thoughts, questions. Use your favorite social media platform. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Two outs, Brandon Crawford, who led the club in home runs last year with 21. Will step up, hitting .308 in the early going. A couple hits last night for Crawford.
They are aggressive tonight against
Very aggressive.
Jordan Lyles.
Yep.
94 miles an hour on that last fastball. 13 pitches in an inning and 2/3. Good for Jordan, because he did not have a good spring. The first outing wasn't good. He needed to come out and kind of put his foot down on that rotation spot. Just say, okay, I'm back. You know, all the injuries, whatever is behind me, I need to go back out.
And he needs obviously to sustain it also.
Yes.
And beyond
one game.
You know, well, even within a game, we've seen him, you know, pitch well for 2 or 3 innings, and then all of a sudden, you know, struggle with command. So he's got to maintain it through a period of time this outing. But so far, he looks terrific.
Yeah, and I think what Spilly said, you know, what they're rooting for in the pregame show was for him to go out and give you 7. I think that's a good mark to strive for.
I would rather hear that number than the most frequently mentioned number.
6.
Yeah, 6, and you know, we call it a quality start. 6 innings and 3 runs. That's a 4.5 ERA. And this is popped up on the infield. LeMahieu calling for it. DJ's got it. Jordan Lyles has quickly dispatched the first 6 he has faced tonight. Rockies have a 2-0 lead. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Jake Peavy ready to go, and he gets a swinging strike from Ben Paulson. 7-8-9 for the Rockies in the second after producing a couple of runs in the first frame. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Mark Stout. Rockies just 1-3 so far in this homestand. As we have frequently made mention of through the years, more so than any other team in baseball, the Rockies must dominate at home.
Well, think back to 2007, 2009, won over 50 ball games both years at home. You're going to be 50 plus here at Coors Field. And you strive for that 500 out on the road.
Two, and Peavy strikes out Paulson. We'll bring up DJ. Fans of the Rockies score 7 or more. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell.
Only 5 more to go.
DJ takes a strike. Career .314 hitter against the Giants, which is 4th among active players.
Chris Iannetta leading the charge, .329.
And DJ now has an 8-game hitting streak to begin the season.
You see the average go up. It came into as a .462 average, which was 3rd best in the National League. DJ getting on top of that fastball on the Subaru Supermo to right back up the middle.
He hits a variety of pitches.
He does. For a tall guy, he could get on top of that one, which, you know, for a taller guy, it's a little bit easier, but then he also will go down and get the ball.
Well, this is a situation. You have 1 out and the pitcher up. And you say, well, you lay down the bunt, then you get 1 shot at driving him in. With DJ's ability to run, it's heavy on the mind, I know, at Jake Peavy, as he already checked him out. DJ takes off, slug bunt on, it's in the air to right center, and it's caught out there by Span. DJ will beat the throw back. That is terrific base running by LeMahieu. He went just far enough that he knew he could get back, but he also had to go and make sure that he could get the second if the ball dropped, so he doesn't get forced out.
Toughest read for any guy that's running. So he turns his body and angles it and then comes into a position right now. See how close he is to second base? I mean, he's probably only 10 feet away, but it all happened before the ball was caught. He started to slow down, turned his body, could see what was happening, and then read the throw as he's going back to the bag.
Another classic running situation. 2 outs, you have your leadoff hitter at the plate. DJ started to go and then stopped. The first pitch is in there for a strike. And the thought being, especially with the lead, that if DJ were to get thrown out, well, you just start next inning at the top of the order.
Not a problem. The only thing you might think about, though, is with Belt holding the runner at first base, it does create a bigger hole between first and second for Charlie to pull the ball that way.
But you know, we live in the age of analytics, and I like the odds of if DJ steals second, okay, the hole's not as large on the right side, but if Charlie throws out a base hit, you have a run. So I'll live with the diminished hole if he does take off.
I just think with Jake Peavy, he varies his times to the plate. He's a veteran pitcher. He knows when to speed it up. You know, Trevor Brown, you know, what kind of arm does he have? Pitchers like throwing to him. Looking over at the Bruce Bochy, who makes the calls. He's not the bench coach. Boch makes the calls what he wants. Does he want to throw, pick over to first, or slide step delivery to the plate?
And this ball's fouled off. Charlie's hitting hard luck so far. We've made this statement a couple times, and Charlie looks great at the plate, just doesn't have much to show for it. Charlie said as much after the ball game yesterday, that he feels really good at the plate, just doesn't have the results. He's only struck out twice in 22 at bats.
A couple walks, but you'll see a ton of pitches during a game.
Remember, he lined out to first in his initial at bat last night. No swing. They check it out at third.
This is a classic running count. 1-2.
Yeah. Sam Holbrook is at third base. Rob Drake is behind the plate. Carlos Torres at first. And the crew chief, Jerry Davis, is at second base. There's Jerry. You know, I was getting ready for the game today, and I wrote down that Peavy's not yet 35. Mentioned he'll be 35 in May. It shocked me because he's been around so long.
Thinking he's upper 30s.
Yeah, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Just 34. 5th all-time in active wins.
He got to the big leagues in 2002, so he was basically a kid. There goes DJ, and it's fouled off.
Well, the ageless wonder, Bartolo Colon, still pitching and still winning games. CC Sabathia pitching on the other side of New York with 215 wins. John Lackey, Verlander.
The guy who would have been atop that list, but he decided to retire after last season with the Giants, was Tim Hudson, who finished with 222 career wins. DJ not going, and this ball's launched foul toward. Well, it's going to go beneath the Mountain Ranch Club. Rockies got 2 in the first. Blackman had a leadoff triple. Trevor Story lined to deep right to bring him home, his 13th RBI, which leads the league. Then Cargo tripled on an 0-2 pitch. Nolan brought him home with a ground ball in the infield.
Look for DJ to go again here. The reason I say that is just they tried to throw a fastball into Charlie, and he just turned on it. They'll go with an off-speed pitch, and it's a good running count. 1-2.
DJ not going, and that pitch is away. It's 2-2.
But it was an off-speed pitch. It was a changeup, 83 miles an hour. Just all over the Subaru strike zone.
Charlie has great balance at the plate, Huey, which is one of the staples of good hitting.
You have to have good balance because hitting starts from the ground up. Most people think it starts with the hands. No, your legs and your hips have to be underneath you when you swing.
And that's outside. So now you know DJ will be going. It's 3-2. DJ swiped third yesterday, which was his first bag of the year. 23 out of 26 last year. Here we go, 3-2. And this ball's pulled foul. I was watching Brandon Crawford there. You talk about a late shift. It was by design. The Giants don't shift as much as most teams, but right as that pitch was being delivered, he shuffled over about 5-6 steps toward the right side of the infield.
If you do it too soon, the hitter will notice that, and he'll know where the pitch is going to be thrown. But if you wait and do it as the ball is being delivered, the hitter doesn't see that.
And that is foul. You look up and you see mostly 87 and 90 on the fastball now with Jake Peavy. So he's lost a couple of feet on his fastball from when he was a younger man in this game, when he was a mid-90s guy.
A lot of innings under his belt or under his cap.
He's thrown over 2,250 major league innings. 11th pitch of the at-bat. And this is bloop to shallow right, and Paddock can't corral it. Around third, DJ will come halfway down and stop. And then it gets past Trevor Brown. Uh-oh. Now DJ's hung up, and he's tagged out. That's a bad break The ball got past Brown. Peavy wasn't backing up, but it ricocheted off the wall. And the Giants wiggle out of that situation. It'll be scored as a double. And then 2-5 on the putout. Rockies lead 2-0. Runs on 5 hits against Jake Peavy, and so far Jordan Lyles has been outstanding. He's retired all 6 hitters he has faced as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston upstairs, joined by an old friend, John Barry, who's the CEO of the Girls and Boys Clubs of Metro Denver. John, how are you?
Drew, great. Beautiful night.
Oh, it's perfect night. Gorgeous night. You been keeping busy?
Keep busy. We're running this raffle again. You know, we got $2.75 million dream house. How cool would that be?
Well, I think when we first started with the Boys and Girls Clubs, we've been involved, Root Sports, and back in the day when it was Fox Sports, all those years. The dream house was about half the price. It was still a dream house, but it's getting bigger and better, I guess.
Right, now you get the house, or you can take $2 million in cash. So that's an option you can get if you win.
So where's the house located?
Right now in Cherry Creek. So we're looking at, you know, 1 in 20 odds. You know, you can't get that in Las Vegas. You can't even get that in, you know, Powerball. So, you know, we got a deal. So it's a pretty good option.
Angel Pagan takes low, and it's 3-0. First 3-0 count.
This is our 8th year, right? And you know, it's been a fantastic run, and great folks supporting. You know, if you buy 1 ticket, that supports 10 hours of homework for our kids. You know, so it's a great option for the Boys and Girls Club.
And it's important, as that's ball 4. It's important, I think, when people are donating money, or in this case buying a raffle ticket, so it's a chance to win many great prizes, not just the dream house. No. But where does that money go, and how is it implemented? And people want to know that. Yeah,
well, you know, the 4,000 square foot house was the amazing thing, but you know, there's 2,700 gifts, you know, that are able to be won, and with 1 in 20 odds, it's a pretty good deal. But now the money goes into the Boys and Girls Clubs to support our 15 clubs, 10,000 kids. You know, we have a great opportunity to make effect on people's lives.
Now the Giants countering a little bit. Base hit by Trevor Brown. That's his first non-home run of the year. It's kind of, I guess, if you're named Trevor, you just hit big flies.
That's all you do.
I'm hoping he's a club kid, you know, when he's.
So Peavy in a bunting situation with nobody out. Check that out. So one of the things we mention every year is that for kids in the Denver area, when you talk about affordable and all the wonderful programs, it's not just, you know, physical activities that you do. There's, you know, computers and help with homework, as you were mentioning, at the Boys and Girls Clubs. It's still $1 a year?
$2 a whole year.
That's 100% raise.
No, we kept it there for the last 10 years.
Okay.
But, you know, academic careers.
So a good bunt by Peavy. And now Denard Span with 1 out and 2 in scoring position will come up. So tell us the different ways again, if you're listening to us right now, that you can get yourself involved with the raffle.
Well, if you go to www.milehigh.raffle.com, you can get on there. So a ticket's $150. You can buy 3 for $400. You can buy 5 for $550. And then the nice thing about it, if you get 1 ticket, you're eligible for the 50-50. Pay $10. Right now, our 50-50 is $315,000. So you get 50% of $315,000 for a $10 ticket. Not a bad deal.
That's a tremendous deal. What's your all-time participation level in the raffle? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, right now, we've had, over 25,000 tickets sold, so we're hoping to get to 30,000. So, this is a big run for us this last week because this ends April 22nd. It's a week from this Friday.
Okay. Is that the record so far?
It may be. We'll wait until the very end.
We're about breaking records here.
Yeah, I go for that if we get a win tonight.
There you go. There you go. Any new plans? Any expansion? Any programs on the horizon? New facilities?
We just opened up a new club in Commerce City. All right, so we're in Denver Metro. Far west is Lakewood. Far east, far north is Brighton and Aurora, and south is Jeffco, with Denver, of course, in the middle. So we cover a lot of the real estate.
Outside 2-1 on Denard Span. Span grounded to Ben Paulson his first time up. First 2 base runners for the Giants tonight. Pagan walked, he's at third. Brown singled, he's at second. And that's inside, so it's 3-1.
This inning's different than the first 2 innings for Jordan Lyles.
It all began with a 4-pitch walk to Pagan.
Base hit, sac bunt, and falling behind 3-1 with the leading part of the lineup coming up.
Man, that's what we were discussing earlier. I mean, Lyles could not have been any better the first 2 innings. And then sometimes it's just the same command seems to disappear. And that's going to be into the gap in right center field. It's going to go all the way to the wall. It'll tie up the game. Denard Span around second will stop there. A 2-run game-tying double from Denard Span. RBI 7 and 8 for the new Giants center fielder.
Denard had 5 RBIs on opening day. Throws out 2 tonight. See on the Subaru Supermo, belt high away from him, gets the arms extended, classic follow through, and then the double.
But Huey, as you know, you can eliminate so many things when you're in a 3-1 count.
Well, you do. You look for a pitch, and for Jordan, you're going to look for a fastball. You're going to look for it up because he likes to sink the ball, but you're going to look for it up. Elevated ball is the easiest one to get in the air to drive in at least 1. But Denard threw out that line drive and drove in both runs.
Well, it was signal, I believe, to Trevor Story. Was that what it looked like from your standpoint?
Yes.
And how they were going to work him.
Right.
So Story is virtually up the middle. Go ahead run at second with 1 out. Joe Panik's at the plate.
So he's up the middle too, so he can hold Span closer to the bag. Now let him get a running jump. It's the easiest place to jockey with that base runner is right where Trevor is. Because that base runner can hear the shortstop if he's yelling back or he hears the footsteps.
General John Barry is with us. Retired 2-star general. When did you retire, John?
2004.
2004?
30 years.
How many different places were you stationed?
Well, I moved 26 times in 30 years, so that kind of gives you an idea. Yeah, I've been around the world a few times.
I would think. Thank you for your service, sir.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the recognition, and thanks for having us for this dream raffle for our house.
Yep, and again, you can buy tickets online. This is in the air to Para in left. Tickets online at milehighraffle.com. And this goes to such a wonderful cause. You help out so many kids in the Denver metropolitan area. It's the 8th year for the raffle. Let's help them break a record. And check out these odds. John mentioned this earlier. The odds of winning are 1 in 20 because there's over 2,700 prizes. There's that huge house.
Yeah, huge house. We got luxury
cash.
cars. We got these incredible vacations. These electronics. Even if you buy one gift and win, the lowest prize is worth the price of a ticket. Pretty cool.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Hunter Pence with 2 outs. He grounded to third in the first inning. And again, the final day to participate in the raffle is next Friday. So you have about 9 days, but don't wait. Get it done tonight. That's in there, 1-1. So did you have a team that you felt closest to growing up in baseball? I don't know when you started. Obviously, you started traveling your military career. I don't know if you come from a military family and moved around, but
no, I grew up in the Bronx, so I grew up 6 blocks from Yankee Stadium. So I got to see Joe Pepitone, Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, all those guys in those days.
My dad grew up in the Bronx. What street you grew up on?
Yeah, it's off of Fordham Road.
Okay. 164th in the concourse.
Yep. Pretty close to where I live, yeah.
My dad was different from you. He hated the Yankees. Walked across the bridge to the Polo Grounds. He was a Giant fan.
I remember the Polo Grounds, and I remember when the Giants left New York.
So do a lot of folks, and a lot of folks in Brooklyn remember when the Dodgers left Brooklyn, right?
In the same couple of years, it was a bad time for New York.
Yeah. 2-2 on Hunter Pence. Bruce Bochy played in New York with the Mets. Offer. Not everybody knows that the Mets uniforms, when they came to be as an expansion club in '62, honored both the Giants and Dodgers who had departed, and Citi Field honors both. I mean, they had the Jackie Robinson Rotunda, but they have the orange in their uniform to honor the Giants, and they have the blue to honor the Dodgers.
Long histories.
Yeah. Swung on a miss. Lyles makes a pitch to get Hunter Pence. 2 runs in the inning for the Giants to tie it up on the double by Denard Span. John, it's always good to see you. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for our kids.
Yeah, it's a great cause. Please get involved. You have a little more than a week to do that at milehighraffle.com. Giants just caught him on the two-run double by Denard Span. So we go to the bottom of the third, and the Rockies have Trevor Story, Carlos Gonzalez, and Nolan Arenado against Jake Peavy. Again, big thanks to General John Barry, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Denver. Story takes strike one on breaking ball.
Two-star general, 30 years of service.
And could not, we've gotten to know him a little
Yes.
bit over the last few years, could not be a nicer man.
No, and what he does for that organization, very important.
Yes. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Trevor. Had a sac fly to right field his first time up. 7 home runs in his first 7 major league games. Pretty decent start.
I would say so. I think anybody would take that start.
2-1. Ball's going to be in play a lot more with Peavy now at this stage of his career than early on. He can throw it by you, for a number of years.
But now it's more about location than it is about overpowering somebody.
He's going to cut it. He's going to throw the slider. He's going to throw a changeup.
Throw it up. He'll throw it down, in and out.
We haven't seen him barking at himself yet tonight. Usually
No, he will.
He'll start yelling. You think he's yelling at somebody on the other club. He's yelling at himself. 2-2. And he elevates to get the strikeout on Story.
A Super Suites Conference Center, Coors Field. It's available for your game day or non-game day meeting. Groups of 25 to 200 will enjoy the views of the city as well as the field from this unique meeting space.
Cargo fell behind 0-2 against Jake Peavy and then reached down and hit a bullet down the right field line for a triple. First triple of the year for Cargo. His first career hit against Peavy. He was 0 for 7 coming in.
You're talking about Peavy and barking at himself. His former teammate Trevor Hoffman compares Peavy to a mixture of Kevin Brown because of the intensity and Mark the Bird Fidrich.
I don't know if those...
Well, he said he won't talk to the ball like Fidrich would, but he talks to himself on the mound. Mark the Bird, that was so classic, though. He'd get the ball and he'd talk to it, walk around the mound.
He'd do some gardening.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him.
3-0 on the 2-0 count. Brandon Crawford moved over to the right side of the infield. And Cargo, not surprisingly, firing 3-0. His ability to hit the ball to Fort Collins, you let him go.
He thinks it's in the area code. Why not? Swing away.
We've seen him hit balls that are out the area code out of the ballpark.
Or hit him to another area code.
Right. Peavy, one of those guys that can be effective up in the zone. Goes change up here. This ball's hit a ton to center field. Span running, will catch it. It's off the middle of the wall, and Cargo, along with Charlie Blackmon, have a triple and a double tonight. And that's a classic example of Cargo being able to get great extension.
3-1. He stays with the pitch, and he hits a 3-2 count. Stays with it on the Subaru Supermo. Leg up, back down into the ground, and powers it to center field.
Fury, if you're Blake Doyle and you were breaking down his swing at the top of the telecast tonight, you have to be thrilled with where Cargo is. He's using the whole ballpark. He's not over swinging.
Yeah, where he gets too far out in front or swinging too hard that he'll lose the leverage point.
Blake Doyle.
I mean, anytime you use a leg kick, before you start your swing, the leg still has to get back down into the ground. But your hips can't travel with that leg as you're doing it.
RBI and a ground out for Nolan in his first at bat. Here's the 0-1 inside. Nolan's brother, who lives with him, his little brother, who lives with him during spring training, Jonah, 16th round selection of the Giants in 2013. He's playing for San Jose in the Cal League. Last year in Augusta and low A, hit 264, 9 home runs, 62 driven in. Good year. This ball slammed deep left field. Get up, get out, home run, Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies are back in front 4-2. Third of the season for the Rockies all-star third baseman.
When these two guys are doing their thing, it is a thing of beauty. Nolan knew it when he hit it.
Gerardo Parra, this one's unloaded to left center field. Pagan can't get it. It's going to roll the 390 mark. Parra into second, and he'll hold there. His second double of the ball game. Remember, he had 3 on opening day in Arizona.
First 2 at bats, 2 doubles.
The Rockies basically have said the heck with hitting singles tonight.
Why should we? If the ball's traveling like it is. That one, they wanted it inside to cut the fastball in to Gerardo. Did not get it in enough. 5th double of the season for Gerardo. Now another chance for Nick Hundley to drive a run in. Just missed driving one in the first when he flew out to left.
Rockies have 8 hits already, with 1 out in the third. 7 extra base hits. DJ has the only single.
To go back to Nolan for a moment, that's his second career home run against Jake Peavy. Now he's 6 for 13.
3 ribby night already as well for Arenado. He's driven in 8, led all of baseball with 130 in 2015. Two strikes on Nick. The 0-2. Slider down and away. 1-2. That home run by Nolan, the club's 18th home run of the year. That leads baseball. The Giants have 17.
Next closest is Arizona with 10. In the National League.
National League, yes. And a strikeout of Hundley, 2 outs. Third strikeout for Peavy. That'll bring up Ben Paulson, who struck out his first time. Boston's leading Baltimore tonight, 4-2. The reason I threw that out there is that Baltimore's hit a bunch of home runs in the American League, and they have yet to lose.
7-0.
Only unbeaten team left. And this is lined to right by Paulson. And here comes Parra, who is moving on the pitch. And it's a double for Paulson. So the theme continues of extra base hits. 5-2 Colorado.
Well, home runs, doubles, triples. That's an easy way to jog home for Gerardo. Ben wasting no time. Subaru Supermo Classic. Downward swing for Ben Paulson. 18 career games against the Giants, 10 RBIs. There's Jake Peavy talking to himself. 348 average for Ben career against San Francisco.
3 doubles already this year for Paulson. That was a weird meeting in that normally the pitching coach does virtually all the talking, but when we had a camera on, the Peavy was talking maybe more than Righetti was.
That's one of those, you just let him talk.
Yeah.
You just let him go. Dave Righetti's been a pitching coach forever. Of course, we know about his distinguished career. He knows when to talk to somebody and when to let them vent.
First base unoccupied. Peavy will walk LeMahieu to get to Lyles. Getty. He's calling Mark Gardner down in the Giants bullpen to discuss maybe getting up. Maybe Chris Heston.
That's who it is.
He's their long guy. Remember last year he did a really nice job in the starting rotation for the Giants.
When they had all those injuries.
Strike count on Lyles.
Heston last year 12-11 with the 3.95 ERA and 31 starts.
And you get bumped out of the rotation after a year like that. Of course, they went out and signed a couple of large names, Johnny Cueto and Jeff Samardzija. Strike 3 on Lyles. Rockies have a big inning in the 3rd. Cargo got it started with a double, then Nolan hit a 2-run home run. Parra doubled. Paulson drove him in with a double, and the Rockies have retaken the lead 5-2 as we go to the 4th.
lot of extra base hits. Cargo has a triple and a double. And it's also a big day for Carlos Gonzalez because it's Kobe Bryant's final day in the NBA. And a lot of the Nike athletes are wearing these special batting gloves. And Cargo is thrilled because it's got purple in it. And he's also thrilled because Kobe's his favorite basketball player. Listen.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet him a few times, and you know, I watch him play. So you know, it's impressive how things work. You know, I'm a kid from Venezuela, and Kobe Bryant, I know him.
He's having a lot of fun. Drew Jeffy said if he does something special today, he will continue to wear those batting gloves. Nolan has those. Nolan has been to a bunch of Lakers games. He told me he used to go with Trace Thompson of the Dodgers. And Brandon Barnes, of course, growing up in Anaheim. Everybody knows about Kobe in his final game tonight.
Yeah, special time. I mean, when that's foul. A truly, you know, once in a generation athlete retires who had as grand a run as Kobe did, you know, you pause to honor him. And I know all year long they've been honoring, you know, Kobe. The Lakers, unfortunately for Los Angeles, are awful. But tonight, I imagine you'll see a very emotional Kobe Bryant.
Well, when you step on the court when you're 19 years of age and then take it as long as you have to become this mega superstar, one of the premier players to ever play the game of basketball. I mean, it's going to be emotional no matter, you know, what he does tonight.
We watched it in baseball with Derek Jeter a couple of years ago. And that's lined to left, a base hit for Brandon Belt. Talking about Peavy and his competitiveness, and you always admired the great competitors. You know, Michael Jordan, for me, is the greatest player I've ever seen, and his competitive level, probably the reason he's the greatest ever, his immense talent was maybe even exceeded by his competitiveness, and Kobe Bryant's that same kind of guy.
We always talk about guys that can take it to another level. And there's a few guys that can't. Those guys that you just referenced, they can do that.
Yeah. Matt Duffy, big swing and a miss.
And that's what's fun about sports. It doesn't matter what sport it is, basketball, football, baseball. You know, when you get onto these stages and you do something extraordinary.
And they always seem to rise to the occasion on the biggest stage. We saw Kobe in the postseason and final series really shine. Look what Madison Bumgarner did for the Giants a couple years ago on virtually no rest. And you thought, oh, maybe you'll be able to give him a couple, 3 innings, tops, 5 innings of Hall of Fame baseball.
And you're not taking me out.
No, there's no. Listen, nobody was going to visit. Rags wasn't going out there. Bochy wasn't going out there. 1-1, ground ball to third. There's one, and on the first, little help from Paulson out there. Well done, a 5-4-3 turn. DJ had to come across the bag. Good pick by Paulson at first.
It was a great pick. Looks it into the glove on the Subaru Supermo, and then he had to adjust his grip. That's why he took the extra step to get rid of it. And then DJ, that's an in-between hop to Ben. It's not the short hop, the easy pick. It was the in-between one, but he still had the soft hands to glove it.
Brandon Crawford with 2 outs and nobody on. Crawford bounces this fair, and then Paulson has an easy play. So after the leadoff hit by Belt, double play ground ball for Jordan Lyles, and then that ground ball from Crawford. Rockies up 5-2. Charlie will lead it off. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru. And by Reserve Casino. I-70 West to exit 243 in Central City. Charlie's had himself quite a ball game already tonight. Triple in the first and a double in the second. That's what Cargo's got going. Triple in the first, double in the third for Cargo. He's due up third this inning. Jake Peavy's allowed 5 runs on 9 hits, 3 frames, and this one's hit hard, but Brandon Belt's got it. Well, we often talk about the cat and mouse game, the adjustments hitters have to constantly make, especially young hitters. Story in his first at bat after being worked away by Jeff Samardzija yesterday with a cutter, was able to take a pitch away and drive it to deep right field for a sac fly. Last at bat, Peavy won the battle, elevating a fastball, got him to swing through twice. Let's see how Trevor counters here. Well, that's a pretty good counter. Ball hit well to right field. Pence toward the corner. Can't make the catch, but it was a foul ball. The ball was well hit.
It was, and it just tailed the last 10 or 15 feet. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a double, possible triple. Down the line for Trevor. You see how much it is in fair territory, and then it starts to slice. Ends up 2 feet foul. Hunter slowing down on the Subaru Supermo so he does not run into that fence and collide with it.
You know, I think like a year and a half ago he never would have broken stride.
No,
but last year with all the time on the DL,
3 different stints on the DL for Hunter.
Yeah, he was one of the iron men of the game. So the pitch he needs to stay off of, and he did that time.
That's what I was going to say, the adjustment that he made.
What was asked, he's been asked a ton about Trevor naturally. The first, it really goes back to spring training, but now a lot of national media in town because of what he's accomplished. And he said his approach is the same. It's in the middle of the field. This is in the middle of the field, deep center field, way back. Span's going to watch it go off that new fence, and Story to third. That's the first time we can say, folks, that would have been a home run last year. They could hit that far left panel, but it would have been out a year ago. Story staring out there.
Denard Span looking back over his right shoulder, then his left shoulder, hit right on that padding.
Yep, you know what? It did. It hit the padding.
And then kissed off that fence back into play.
And it would have skipped out, which would have meant a home run a year ago. Instead, it's the Rockies' 3rd triple of the night. And here's Cargo, who has one of those triples. Has tied a franchise record, most triples in a game, 3 for the 17th time. Last time was here in June of 2013 when the Padres were in town. 5-2 Colorado. Cargo went.
The good look on the Subaru Supermo when he makes contact. See how everything's connected together? The bat's going down, his eyes are following. Look at those hips drive through, and then at the wall for Denard Span. He just has to wait till it falls back to the ground.
Well, just as we were discussing, as Walt was saying before the ball game, he does not operate anymore in a pull mode. He's trying to use the big part of the field. He used the big part of the field right there.
But he learned that when he had to go back to Modesto for the 2nd time.
Well, he struck out 185 times there in 8 ball. Part of the learning process, a painful part of the learning process.
It's one that you don't want to go through, but sometimes you have to go through as a player.
When he first touched AA, it was about a half a season, about 200 at bats. He hit 200.
Yeah, then you have to figure it out. It's sink or swim. What do I need to do? What adjustments do I have to make? And he made them.
Now Cargo We'll go into battle mode here. Behind 2 strikes. Trying to get the ball in play. The infield's halfway. I don't think anybody in their right mind wants to play infield in with Cargo at the plate.
I wouldn't volunteer for it.
One and 2.
This is where, as a base runner at third base, it's real tricky. Infield's halfway in. Cargo hits the ball hard. When do I go? When do I take off? Do I see it through? I mean, all those things have to happen in a split second if you're Trevor. That's where you just hope he just hits it out. You just go ahead and wait for him at home. Shake his hand there. Plus, he'd be closer to a cycle.
Yes, he would. And both he and Charlie got the hard part out of the way, the triple. Sometimes for Cargo, home runs are like singles. 2 and 2 with Story at third. And Peavy gets a big strikeout. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Nolan.
Turns the changeup over. Pronate the wrist.
Perfect
Good
pitch.
That's what I was going to say. Great pitcher's pitch.
RBI ground out for Nolan in the first. 2-run line drive home run to left, last at bat. Nolan's idol in the game is Adrian Beltre, and that looked like a Beltre swing.
Where the right knee goes down to the ground.
One and 2. That previous pitch, yeah.
Knee drops to the ground. This would hurt most anybody's back. Then the last strike, the Subaru Supermo slider. If you're Nolan, you still have to look away. He came in, he hit a home run to left field. They're not going to come back in again. Just block that out.
Two and 2. Nolan down the line, fair ball. Story walks home. And yet another extra base hit for the Rockies as Nolan glides into second with a double, make it 6-2 Colorado.
And he's halfway to a cycle with the home run now in the double.
He's got a 4 RBI night also.
Good for him. Slider that just stays right there. He couldn't hug the line more than he did. Right over the bag. Sam Holbrook, third base umpire, on top of that.
10 of the 11 hits are extra base hits. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. With that many hits in a game, 10 of 11 are extra base hits?
Yeah, and last night, for the first time, they were held without an extra base hit.
Remember that game we did, Huey, a few years ago against the Cubs? The Rockies, I mean, the Rockies had like 400 hits.
Yeah.
And extra base hits in a game, 12. That game I'm referencing against the Cubs in 2010, 8 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. They're on their way tonight. I mean, they're 2 hits away from tying that. Gerardo Parra has a pair of doubles tonight. And this ball to shallow right. Pence coming hard will get there. That'll end the inning, but the Rockies add on. Triple by Story, double by Nolan Arenado. It's 6-2 Rockies. Airlines transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. 10 of the Rockies' 11 hits, folks, extra base hits. And Trevor Story would add his 8th home run of the year. The new fencing sort of got him.
The Marilyn
what do we got?
Monroe
What do we got?
version of Happy birthday to you. How old are you? You gotta be 43, right?
Yeah, 43
The
again.
53.
I caught,
Is that what it
actually, I
is?
caught Huey again.
All right, don't miss a pitch, but take a good look. You won't see this long.
Yeah, here, because you guys are
You're
about
gonna
to
eat
dine
'em.
on it.
You're gonna eat them.
You found the right guy for it, because Huey likes to have at least 2 desserts a night,
Yeah,
as we all
I
know.
already had one.
Well, there's your
Yep.
second.
Well, eat up, boys.
Thanks,
you know what? I
fellas.
got yelled at by Dwayne Kuiper. I gotta bring him one.
Don't they get
Hey,
chocolate?
tell Kai
Chocolate's
Peak
my
he needs to
favorite.
mix in a salad.
Wow. You know what he's saying about this game right now already.
Yeah, I know. Slowly hit DJ, man, to go with the glove flip's not going to get him. That was the only chance to get Pagan, who despite off-season knee surgery still runs really well. Runs like a young Ryan Spilborghs.
What do you got on the fence? We've actually seen it come into play tonight.
And during BP today, did you see it came in a couple of times?
You did? You saw it hit the
Yeah.
fence during BP?
Oh, really?
Ben
Twice.
Paulson
Ben
hit the
Paulson
fence.
twice.
Yeah.
And remember we were
We've been
talking
watching
about it.
for every single day since we've been here.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the dugout today.
It's the invisible fence, and it came into play. That's,
guys saw what Cargo said,
That was
right?
the best
Yeah.
line of pregame. In the dugout, we were asking Cargo, we said, you know, it seems like nobody's hit the fence even in batting practice. And Cargo said, no, nobody has. It's the invisible fence.
He was
was
waiting
whispering,
the other
right? He was
day.
whispering.
Yeah, oh, that was, and then, right.
Yeah.
And then he said, you know, the other day, was it Kemp's ball?
No,
Spangenberg.
Spangenberg.
He said Spangenberg's ball. I went out there, I turned to play it off the fence. Because I was like Spider-Man.
He's ready.
I was ready. And nothing happened.
Then it went over. Oh.
It went over the invisible fence. That was just, he had the whole dugout roaring when he was telling that story. Fellas, that was very nice, you guys bringing these birthday cupcakes.
Did you lick them all before you brought them in?
Yes, I did.
Drew, you share your birthday with Thomas Jefferson, Hunter Pence.
I knew I would get great information. Yeah, Hunter Pence today. Happy birthday.
Wally Cleaver.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know
I
that.
have a few more
That's
if you
Tony.
want.
Well,
Here.
and also Susan Strand in the truck. Her cousin Tammy is celebrating in Lincoln, Nebraska too. So,
Tammy,
you know, I
happy
figured we'd throw
birthday.
that out there for
Tammy,
you.
I hope you're watching in Lincoln tonight. Happy birthday.
Singer Al Green.
Yeah.
The Reverend. The Reverend was born on April 13th. How about that? This ball's lined to left. Carl is going to have to play it off the wall. And a green light for Pagan, and he will score, and it's 6-3. How about Trevor Brown? Buster who?
That guy's good. Buster Posey or Trevor Brown?
Hit both of them right now.
Well, the Trevor Brown thing is surprising to me. He had 7 home runs in the minor leagues, 1,200 at bats, 3 in the major leagues already. That's
and the most he had in a season was 3. Pagan running on the pitch. Stumbles around second, stumbles around third, but because the ball went all the way to the wall, he scores. Now Gregor Blanco will pinch hit for Peavy.
Nobody out in the 5th inning.
Drew, happy birthday again. It was always good to come up here in the booth and enjoy your Rockies cupcakes.
Listen, I got a quick funny story. Yeah. We got to get back to the game. My youngest son, Gabriel, we call him Gabriel, who we're always on him because he never returns anybody's texts. He's in 7th grade. Never returns a text. I just looked on my phone. There's a text. You know what it says? Those cupcakes look good. Gabe, if Spilly, Huey, and Mark don't eat them all, I will bring one home for you.
Don't forget about Doug and Sam up here, too.
Yeah, you know
okay?
what? I'm going to have to fight some people off.
Dad's got to stop on the way home and pick some up.
2-0 on Blanco. That's high. 3-0 on Blanco. Fellas, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Reverend Al Green.
The Reverend.
Yeah, you need to be listening to music tonight. Al Green and eating cupcakes. It's a special night.
Al Green,
special
cupcakes.
See you, Drew.
All right, boys. Thanks, Mark. 3-0. That's in there, 3-1. This is a limit the damage inning.
Yes, it is. You put another run up last half inning, 3 the inning before. The 6-2 lead. Can't give it right back.
We got 2 more left-handed bats after this. Span and Panic. This is on the ground, and Paulson makes a nice play. Moving to 3rd is Trevor Brown, and there's 1 out for Denard Span. Your wife just texted me. And she was going to give me a hard time about being older than her, but she knows I could come back with the retort that she's now a grandma.
True. And in 10 days, she'll join us in the same age group.
In the same club.
Yes, indeed.
Lyles to Span. Doubled in 2 his last time up, and that's high, ball 1. What are you seeing from Jordan that's different than what we saw in the first 2 innings, where he needed like 20 pitches to work 2 innings?
Well, I think the first couple innings he was finishing his pitches more. He was getting on top. He was getting the arm extended. Because through the first 4 innings he had 44 pitches, 26 strikes, 11 for 15 first pitch strikes.
The breakdown of his pitch selection tonight at the top of the Subaru strike zone.
And that first pitch was what I was talking about, not finishing out in front, getting the extension, left it high.
And now it's 3-0 again. That's another thing that's changed. The first pitch strike ratio, which was outstanding the first 2 innings, has unfortunately gone the other way. Ball 4 to Span. Now you're really creating a problem. You have Panic coming up, and then Hunter Pence on deck. And Chris Russin is in the Rockies bullpen at work.
He would be the long guy. Rockies juggled the rotation. See Steve Foster talking about juggling the rotation. Jorge De La Rosa was supposed to throw on Friday. He's going to be pushed up to tomorrow. With the off day, he's still going on the same amount of rest. And then you'll follow it up in Chicago on Friday with Chad Bettis, Christian Bergman on Saturday, and Tyler Chatwood on Sunday. All fans through the gates on Saturday, April 23rd, will receive a monthly wall calendar courtesy of us here at Root Sports.
This inning, Jordan Lyles just 1 of 4 first pitch strikes. Panic lifts it to Parra. This is going to be deep enough to get the run home, even with Parra's arm. So it's 6-4. Panic with his 7th RBI on the sac fly. Pence, ground ball to third and a strikeout. Breaking ball misses. Last 26 games against the Rockies, Hunter Pence has hit .402 with 7 home runs and 26 RBIs in those 26 games. And last night, the birthday boy killed the Rockies with 4 RBIs.
We're talking to Javi Lopez, the former Rocky reliever and now the reliever for the Giants, about Hunter Pence in the dugout during batting practice today, and just, you know, he had nothing but great things to say about him and the energy that he brings to their club.
One of the things he told us, he said that Hunter Pence, and listen, Javi's been around a long time now. What a great, terrific guy, former Rocky. One of the smartest guys, by the way, in the game of baseball also. He said that Hunter Pence is the most positive player he's ever been around. He said they almost joke about how he's always positive. And after he told us that, we were visiting with Bruce Bochy, and we weren't even talking about unsolicited. Bochy was talking about Pence. He said I think he's the most positive guy I've ever seen.
Well, in a game that can be negative the majority of the time. I didn't get a hit 7 out of 10 times.
Here's the 3-1. It's in there 3-2. You know, on one hand, you say, boy, you don't want to mess with Pence, but you got Brandon Belt on deck from the left side.
That's the trouble you work into for Jordan with the base hit and the double to the 7th and 8th place hitter in their lineup. And then walking the leadoff hitter.
Make a pitch here, 3-2. And that's going to sneak through and drive in a run. Span scores, and it's 6-5. So all the thrills of the last couple of innings offensively for the Rockies, and most of it's been wiped out by this 3-run rally by San Francisco.
And you could see on that replay, Denard Span is running on the pitch. DJ's just trying to knock it down on the Subaru Supermo just to keep the runner from scoring. But Denard gets the go ahead and go on home sign from Roberto Kelly.
And Walt going to have to take the baseball after 4 2/3 from Jordan Lyles. He could not keep that 6-2 lead intact. It's now 6-5. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Bank of the West. For a personal approach to banking, go West, Bank of the West. And by GMC. Have Cupcake will travel. Very steady hand.
I got Cupcake will eat.
Shocking. You have Cupcakes will eat. Plural. Chris Russin will take over. 4 2/3 from Jordan Lyles. And with 2 outs, Hunter Pence is at first and Brandon Belt is at the plate. Belt 1 for 2 against Lyles.
Made his debut on opening day. Also in the game that started by Jordan Lyles. It was his first relief appearance since the middle of July last year.
Fouled off. Rockies have 6 runs on 11 hits. Again, 10 extra base hits. Tell you more about those 10 extra base hits and the historic portion of that next half inning. The Giants have 5 runs on 6 hits. And again, it's been a short start for a starter. Chatwood was, you know, some good, some bad last night. A lot more good, I think. You know, Chatwood made 2 pitches that, you know, he said after the game he wants back to 2 home runs, 1 to Brown, 1 to Pence. That's fouled off. I thought he threw the ball well for the most part. Bettis had a terrific start, but obviously Jorge De La Rosa has had 2 difficult starts. He'll go tomorrow. Here's Chatty.
You just think about the games that the starting pitchers have gone deeper into the game. It's no mystery how then it plays out for your bullpen. What happens during the game, because if you lose somebody in the 4th inning or even in the 5th inning, it's hard to manage your bullpen for that many outs.
Strike 3 on Belt. Rob Drake indicating it was on the inside corner. That'll end the frame. But the Giants, down by 4 to begin the inning, scored 3. They're within a run. Huntley in the bottom of the 5th will start it. Here's our First Bank game recap. It's been a busy night on the base paths for both teams. The Rockies have pounded out 10 extra base hits. Of their 11 hits, they're up 6-5. Charlie Blackmon has a double and a triple. Cargo a double and a triple. Nolan's driven in 4 tonight. And the Rockies will now see a right-hander by the name of Chris Heston, who they saw a bunch last year. He was in the starting rotation. We were discussing last half inning when he was warming up. So Heston in relief of Jake Peavy, who goes just 4 innings, gives up the 6 runs on 11 hits. Peavy didn't walk anybody. He struck out 5.
Heston 12 and 11. That led all major league rookies last year in wins. Well, let's not forget this about Chris Heston. He also threw a no-hitter against the New York Mets.
What does he get for it? He gets the long man job in the Giants bullpen. Ben Paulson doubled in a run his last time up. 1 out in the 5th, he'll come up. So after exhaustive research, Dougie came up with this, saying, we were saying how many times 11 hits and 10 extra base hits. Well, this is through a complete game. Obviously, we're in the bottom of the 5th right now. There's a strike. 4 teams in Major League history has had 11 hits in a game, with 10 of them being extra base hits. This is slowly hit to the one man on the left side, Matt Duffy, 2 outs. The 1950 St. Louis Browns, the 97 Seattle Mariners, the 06 Kansas City Royals, and the 2013 Tampa Bay Rays all produced 11 hits in a game, with 10 of them being extra base hits. The Rockies are sitting on that right now with 2 outs in the 5th inning, so who knows where this will end up. DJ has the only single tonight. I don't know what's gotten into him.
He still keeps his hit streak alive.
He also was intentionally walked. Two 2-0. Chris Heston, or excuse me, Chris Russin. Chris Heston's pitching. Chris Russin is pitching for the Rockies. He's on deck. 2-1.
Heston was signed by Pat Portugal, the former pitcher out of East Carolina.
Outside. The Pirates, ECU. Good baseball program.
Jonathan Lucroy's brother was a pitcher there at ECU last year.
I didn't know that. There's a walk, so LeMahieu will jog down the line. That'll bring up Russin. DJ's been on all 3 times. You know, I erroneously said Peavy didn't walk anybody. I forgot about the intentional walk. First walk of the year by Peavy. Russin can hit. We know that. DJ takes off, throw to second, tailing out. So Brandon Crawford applied the tag. Trevor Brown cuts down LeMahieu, and that'll end the inning. 6-5, Rockies leading the Giants. We'll go to the 6th. It is time for the Timeless Moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. On this date in 1984, the switch-hitting Pete Rose would get his 4,000th hit to join Ty Cobb as the only two players to produce 4,000 hits in their career. Charlie Hustle produced it 21 years after getting his first major league knock. He would go on to produce 4,255 hit, 56 hits, 4,256, right? Surpassing the 4,191 of Ty Cobb.
A lot of fours and ones and twos. Hank Aaron third on the list, 37-71.
My favorite notes about Cameron Henry Aaron's unprecedented career, unparalleled career, was that if you took away his 755 home runs, this has popped up. Story and Nolan will take it. If you take away his 755 home runs, he still had 3,000 hits.
It's kind of like Gretzky. You take away all his goals, he still has more points than anybody else.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Mr. Hockey, Jeff Hughes.
Sorry, just had to throw that one in. But that's a separator from those guys, what they did. Take all the home runs away, still 3,000 hits.
Is this crazy to say? I've always felt this about Hank Aaron, that as great a player as he was, and what a marvelous ambassador for the game and longtime executive with Atlanta, he's still underappreciated.
Oh yeah.
And he came to stardom almost around the exact same time that his friend and fellow Alabaman Willie Mays did, and Willie, because he had more flair. And listen, Willie, in many circles, my father's, thinks he's the greatest player ever, and you could make a very convincing argument that he was. But you know, Aaron also stole bases. Aaron was a good defender. But I think that sometimes he just gets overshadowed a little bit by some of the other all-timers. But
hopefully we'll have a chance to see him when we go to Atlanta after the All-Star break.
Yeah. Final year in Turner Field for the Braves. 1-2 on Brandon Crawford, who's 0 for 2. And Russin bounces the slider. Crawford first came up in 2011, could not hit lefties at all. Steadily improved, and this is towards Story, and Story makes a nice play. That was headed up the middle, and Trevor on the backhand. And again, you played the position. You're not used to throwing that exact angle.
No, these guys were out early today with Stu Cole, and it was Trevor, and it was DJ, and it was Christian. All these guys were in different spots, kind of working on some double plays from a different angle. But this is a different angle in itself. Backhand up the middle, and then throwing where you would think, oh, I need to be making sure I have momentum going that way, or I've made a spin. But Trevor just backhands it, makes the easy throw.
Two outs. Angel Pagan takes the strike. Pagan has scored a couple runs tonight. He walked and scored in the third. Infield hit and scored in the fifth. His 12 runs scored leads the National League. And he's hitting in a different spot in the lineup. He's well down the lineup from where he's accustomed to hitting his first few years in San Francisco, at the top of the lineup.
And he's hit ninth some too for the Giants. Put Bumgarner at 8th. Bruce Bochy does not do that very often, but he trusts Angel Pagan to hit there when asked to do it.
Strike 3 on Pagan. So Russin has retired all 4 he's faced. We'll see what Walt does, because he's scheduled to lead off next half inning. Rockies up 6-5.
The rooftop, Rockies on top 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And don't forget, the Rockies and executives partnering to invest in children are holding a children's book drive on Sunday, April 24th. Drop off your gently used books at all gates prior to the game.
Chris Heston's second inning of work. Here's Russin and the 1-0 down the line. Just foul.
Thought we were going to have it. Just foul. Thought we had another extra base hit.
Foul by a lot.
But it was.
Russin last year hit .217, including a home run. Two complete games at home last year. The home run came in St. Louis. This is to shallow center, and Brandon Crawford gets out and makes the catch. Well, the Rockies, as we've been discussing, have 10 extra base hits, and it got going right away. Charlie Blackmon a triple in the bottom of the first. Cargo had a triple. Parra had a double. We don't see them all, I think. Trevor Story nearly hit one out. That was a triple. Then Nolan hit one where the only people who could catch it were guys and gals who bought tickets. Inside on Blackmon. Triple double and a hard ground ball. A one-hop smash, actually, at Brandon Belt. Heston touches the outside corner, 1-1. Two outs. Jordan Lyles ends up going 4 2/3, 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout for Lyles tonight. That'll bring up Trevor Story. The day after every Rockies victory, make sure you get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. That's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Trevor.
Bottom of the knees, on the black of the Subaru strike zone.
He identified that well. 2-1.
Chris Hessen is a 4-pitch pitcher, even though he's coming out of the bullpen now. Fastball, sit about 88, curveball, changeup, slider.
This ball's hit a ton to right center. Span going back, and it's off the very top of the wall. Story will glide into third with a triple. He comes around a third of the way and stops. Walt Weiss said it. That big fence could produce more triples and even some inside the park home runs. Story has hit it twice tonight, or he'd be sitting on 9 home runs.
Some strength to hit it as far as he did, to do what he did with this pitch. Nice inside out swing from Trevor. Bernard goes back. That was a good 3/4 of the way up on the new fencing. The Subaru Supermo, he's motoring all the way as Stu Cole holds him up wisely.
That is a club record 4th triple tonight for the Rockies. Here's Cargo.
Produced by the top 3 guys in the lineup. Charlie 1, Trevor 2, and Cargo 1.
And wouldn't you know it, the first 2 times the new fencing comes into play, it's the kid who's setting all kinds of home run records, and now you can play woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, but you knew that that was a chance. That's what happens. You put the new fence in, it's going to take some away, but it also adds the triples.
Yeah, the interesting thing about it is both of those balls he hit, where he hit them, were well over 400 feet. This is down the third base line. Cargo to first, beat it. And with that base hit, Story scores, and the Rockies have a little more breathing room.
Very nice to have that 2 runs, and you also get tacos. Playing off the line is Matt Duffy. Just a slide over, knock it down, spin. Cargo legging out the infield single. And even though he had to pick it up after that, Matt Duffy got rid of it in a hurry.
3rd hit of the night for Cargo, 6th RBI on the season.
And he's only a home run away from the cycle.
That's all he's got left. Here's Nolan. There's a strike on a breaking ball. We get tacos, fans. The Rockies have scored 7 runs. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell location tomorrow. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Limas at Taco Bell. Ball and 1 strike. Some people wondering how would Trevor Story respond after an 0 for 4, his first 0 for, and 3 punch outs. Well, sac fly, strikeout, triple, triple. Pretty good. Toward the hole, on through. Nolan's got his 3rd hit of the night. Now he's a triple away from the cycle.
Oh man. So Cargo's a home run away from the cycle. Nolan's now a triple away.
Charlie's a single and a home
run away. But it's good to see these guys start to do what is expected. Nolan comes in, hits the balls hard early, and then I'm sure he's starting to feel it. But now it's okay. I'm back to 290 now. Hit another home run tonight. 4 RBIs on the evening.
Yeah, usually when you throw out the kind of numbers the Rockies have tonight, you're in a laugher. The Rockies are just in a 2-run game. They have 11 extra base hits, which is 1 shy of matching their club record for extra base hits in a game. They have 4 triples, 2 by that man, which is a team record.
That's why it's imperative you keep the pressure on. Don't let up. We say it all the time. It's one of those cliches in sports, but you have to, especially here.
Especially at Coors Field. Gerardo Parra, double in the first, double in the third. He scored a run, also a fly ball to right field. Be a great time for Gerardo to get his first Colorado Rockies RBI. Playing in his 995th career game tonight. We always talk about what a beautiful personality Cargo has, and his very close friend Gerardo Parra has a similar personality. He's always upbeat, he's always bouncing around with a smile on his face.
Always engaging when we go in the clubhouse or down on the field during batting practice.
One and two. Cargo at second, Nolan at first. 1-2, and Heston with that breaking ball strikes out Gerardo. In the inning, the Rockies got a 2-out triple from Story. Cargo brought him around. 7-5 Rockies off to the 7th.
On the Giants, talking about Cargo and Gerardo Parra, they're friends. Well, Parra's got a big personality, so much so he is the Rockies candidate for president. You've seen these shirts, fans. Parra for president. Fresh Brew Tees and the Players Association kind of team it up for this. Parra is the obvious choice because of his personality. Listen in.
I'm happy to represent the Colorado. And I'm the president, man. I think the big point is be happy. And the second point, live the life happy. That's it. That's it if I want to make a president.
That's your campaign?
Yeah, it's my campaign. Just happy, even when you have a bad day or a good day. I think when you have a bad day, you need to stay happy. Because when you have a good day, you don't need to stay happy because you're happy.
It's exactly what you guys were saying about it. It's all about him and being happy, right?
You know what? That sounds like a winning platform to me.
Works for me.
This is line to center, stay up, and it will. Charlie makes the catch on a bullet hit by Trevor Brown. And I know there are a lot of cynics who are saying that makes a lot of sense in this
all I know is Gerardo lives what he says.
No, he does live what he says. He's always happy. That's what we're talking about. Good man. Kelby Tomlinson's going to be the pinch hitter here for Chris Heston with 1 out. Got a little Chris Sabo look-alike in him for me.
Just regular glasses, not the sports goggles that Chris Sabo wore.
We talked about Sabo a year or 2 ago, and is he in the game somewhere? Is he managing?
I'm not sure. Look, is he anywhere? You can look it up.
I think he's in the game. 1-1 outside on Tomlinson. Kelby at a Texas Tech University.
Drafted in the 12th round in 2011.
Played with Chad Bettis in Lubbock. 3-1. Sabo coaches at the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. How about that? He was down at the IMG Academy. Jacko's dad, youngest son of Dan and Jackie.
Freshman or sophomore down there?
Yep, first year there.
First year. Okay.
3-2 on Tomlinson. There's Chad. Charting tonight. You know, he hit an inside the park home run last year. Tomlinson did at AT&T Park against Chris Russell. He hit it into Triple's alley. And he went one better than a triple. It was the 9th inside the park home run ever at AT&T. And this time Russell gets the better of Tomlinson. 2 outs.
Warning track party room specials are happening now. Tickets up to 45% off for select dates in April. Call 303 Rockies for more information.
Denard Span, I'll tell you what, Rustin's done a marvelous job. Came in with man on, 3 runs in and 2 outs in the 5th inning. Struck out Brandon Belt looking. He had a 1-2-3 6th inning. He's gotten the first 2 here in the 7th, and he can get himself a W. Again, Jordan Lyles didn't go the requisite 5 innings. So Chris Russin, the Rockies can hold on in line for a victory. Here's the 0-1.
He's doing what you hoped any reliever does coming out. 27 pitches, 18 for strikes. Of the 6 outs he's recorded, 3 have been strikeouts. Used a variety of pitches, fastball, big curveball, the changeup to Tomlinson to strike him out. It's a curveball down and away.
Well executed DJ. That's a great play here.
Marvelous play.
That thing came up late. DJ has such great hands. 7 faced by Chris Russin. 7 set down. Wonderful play by the Gold Glover.
Major League Baseball announced today that there are some alternate uniforms coming your way this season, and the Rockies showed us 4 of them in particular. Mother's Day, of course, it benefits breast cancer. They'll have the pink. On Memorial Day, they've got the camo caps. Father's Day, for prostate cancer, it's the light blue. And then the 4th of July, they always go with the stars and stripes. And they've got that on the cap and the red as well. They started that a couple of years ago. So this will be another in the line of the 4th of July jersey. So a little bit of a different look this year around Major League Baseball. Fans can look forward to that. Drew, Jeff?
Yeah, those uniforms will be cool. I really like the one on Father's Day.
It's just like the way they're doing it both for Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah.
And just the significance of the colors.
Nick Hundley against Corey Gearin here in the Rockies half of the 7th, 7-5. Colorado in front.
First opening day roster for Corey. Also made the opening day for the Giants. He did make it one time with the Atlanta Braves, and that was in 2013. Pitched in 7 ball games as a September call-up for San Francisco.
Two 2-0 on Nick. Fly ball, strikeout, and a ground out tonight for Nick. 0 for 3. There's Miguel Castro, who's really been throwing the ball very well. He's going to handle the 8th inning. Hard ground ball at Brandon Belt. One out, and that'll bring up Ben Paulson. Paulson an RBI double in the 3rd. Rockies 1-3 at home. Gearin went to Young Harris Junior College down at Mercer University. You know who went to Young Harris?
I do not.
Charlie Blackmon. Before he went to Georgia Tech. And that gets under the glove of Joe Panik. And Paulson has a base hit.
Hit hard. Panik gave ground to try to increase the range, and it just didn't get the glove down. Subaru Supermo just didn't get his glove out far enough.
That'll bring up DJ. He's been on all 3 times tonight. Single, intentional walk, and a unintentional walk. Ryan Rayburn's on deck for the Rockies. That's a strike. Corey Gearin will turn 30 tomorrow. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Quite a sidearm delivery for Gearin, but it is just enough of a different angle to make him effective. especially on right-handed hitters. And that's the pitch.
Yeah. A wiffle ball slider.
Take it from the left hip of the batter and then all the way across the plate.
Hey, listen, Sergio Romo's made a lot of money.
A lot of guys have.
Yeah. Probably going to see it again. Yep. 2 outs, and here comes the pinch hitter Ryan Rayburn.
Live Rockies baseball is back in 2016 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. MLB.com at bat 2016.
Rayburn 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. He's got 2 home runs already in a Rockies uniform. Ryan takes outside, ball 1. So Dougie did a little more research. Check this out, Huey. Pitchers to allow 10 or more extra base hits in the last 50 years in a game. Jake Peavy tonight. Kurt Schilling in 2006. Louis Tiant in 69. You know what those 3 have in common?
No,
not only that, they were all really, really good. See, and that's why you earn the right to stay out there and maybe work your way through it. Well, I mean, you're talking about Peavy, who's had a heck of a career. Schilling had a great career. Tiant had a fabulous career. You'd think you'd see, a couple journeyman names on that list, but it's not.
No.
It's 3 big names.
This tells you how hard this game truly is.
Out in front of the plate, that is a fair ball. And Trevor Brown throws to Brandon Belt. In the inning, Ben Paulson a single. He's left aboard. We turn the page to inning number 8. The Rockies 7, the Giants 5. Chris Russin, in relief of Jordan Lyles, faced 7 hitters and he retired them all. In fact, he struck 3 of them out. He's in line for the victory right now as the Rockies are ahead 7-5. A fine pitching line for Chris Russin. That's our Kubota pitching performance of the night. And now the Rockies will watch the youngster Miguel Castro. He's been impressive in his first 4 outings.
And that's why he's earned this right to come into the 8th inning and go out there. Of the 15 batters he's faced, 7 strikeouts, just 2 walks, and has only given up 1 hit.
And this is a very gifted lineup that the Giants put out every night. Look at some highlights from Miguel Castro. You know, he does have the mid to upper 90s fastball, but he's got a terrific slider that's been very effective.
And he's shown command of that slider. It doesn't matter what count it is. If he needs to throw when he's behind, he can do that, although he hasn't been behind very many hitters.
Now, we were discussing this great lineup with the Giants. He's going to face the thick part of it. 2, 3, and 4. Joe Panik, Hunter Pence, Brandon Belt. So here we go in the 8th. The Rockies up by 2. And a fastball on the outside corner at 96.
And that's what you like to see. Come out there, show that fastball, be proud of it. Throwing at 96 with movement.
Infield and outfield pretty much straight up for Panik, and that fastball inside, or excuse me, a slider inside. One and one. Center field.
Well, this is textbook outfield play. You and I are watching the same thing from our angle, where Charlie took off and he ran to a spot. The hardest thing to teach a young kid is to do this, but just keep your eye on Charlie out in center field when this ball's hit. He takes off, turns his back to the infield, and then picks it up again.
It is one of the most difficult things, as you said, for young players to pick up, because they always want to watch the baseball, but the baseball will stay in the air.
And you can't run as fast.
Nope.
Running sideways or tracking the whole way.
It's a great route, great read by Chuck Nasty. Big first out on Panik. Hunter Pence with a strike already. And that's on the outside corner. A little more giddy up at 97. He knows who's up there.
That's right.
Pence singled through the right side in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. He's driven in 5 in the first 2 ball games.
I like this call. 0-2 slider.
The location wasn't where he wanted it, but it almost kind of backed up into the zone.
Let's see how close it came to hitting the Subaru strike zone.
Ball and 2 strikes on Pence, celebrating his 33rd birthday today. And the defensive saved the at-bat swing. It's 1 and 2. Giants always well represented wherever they travel. Good pitch. Castro gets the dangerous Pence. 2 outs in the 8th. And that'll bring up Brandon Belt. Every team wants it now, and that is power at the back end of your bullpen.
You have to have it. I mean, power works at any ballpark.
It works in any ballpark, and if you can miss bats, you really have a chance to succeed.
That's the difference for the guys that can throw 96, 97, 98. You get more swings and misses. The percentage goes up about 10 or 15% when you're talking about a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up to a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. How many more swings and misses you'll have?
You can back it up with that kind of slider. 1 and 1.
Brandon Belt saying what's coming next.
Fly ball to deep right. Cargo's not going to have a play. This one's gone. And now it's a 1-run game.
Tip of the cap to Brandon Belt.
Second home run for Belt.
Because I know it sounded loud, just how high he hit it. Where was the pitch? It wasn't horrible. It didn't get underneath the hands, but Belt has already preloaded so much onto his left side and then hit it over the wall.
0-1 on Matt Duffy. The Rockies with all these extra base hits, and they've out-hit the Giants 15-7, but amazingly it's just a one-run game. Good pitch there. That'll end the inning, but the home run by Belt makes it 7-6. Top of the order for the Rockies in the bottom of the 8th. Giants 6 with Jeff Houston and Mark Stapp. I'm Drew Goodman. Rockies have pounded out a ton of extra base hits tonight as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's time for the Let's Motor Team Profile, brought to you by BMW Mini. 4 triples, a club record for the Rockies tonight. Charlie's got one of those. 11 extra base hits, one shy of the club record set against the Cubs a few years back. Cargo's a homer shy of the cycle. Trevor Story has 2 balls that were triples that would have been a home run. Both would have been home runs, but hit that new fencing in center and right center field. So the Rockies trying to get that run back, or perhaps more, against Josh Osich, former Oregon State Beaver.
Hard throwing Josh Osich. He looks like a guy that will throw hard. 6'2", 230 pounds, 240 pounds.
0-1, and that heavy fastball inside. 1-1. Made his debut last July in our nation's capital against the Nationals. Two and 1. Three and 1 on Charlie. Triple double and 2 ground balls to first.
Josh, he takes the place of Jeremy Affeldt as another left-hander out of their bullpen.
Yeah, Affeldt finally retired. Former Rocky, former Royal. Great run in the Giant uniform, and that's toward the middle of the diamond. Joe Panik's having a rough ball game, and slamming on the brakes after a hard turn, as you should take, is Charlie Blackmon. For a moment, I thought he was going to try to stretch it. You know, those are probably going to go in the book as singles, and if you ask Joe Panik, now that one's going to go as an error. But both of them, Joe Panik would tell you he ought to make.
Yeah, the other one was the Ben Paulson one to his left. And then for Panik, he just came up too soon.
Yeah, you got to give an error on that.
Yeah, you have to. That would be his first error of the season, 3rd overall for the Giants.
See if the Rockies can capitalize. Trevor Story, sac fly, strikeout, 2 monster triples. Last triple he hit high off the new fencing in deep right center field. He came tearing around third. Stu Cole held him up, but he was thinking about
running hard the whole way.
The inside the park home run. We literally have seen him hit balls out to every portion of the field, not only during the big league season, which is only, what, 10 days old, but during spring training. Here's his work tonight.
4th inning. Not quite as high off the padding as this next one. Next one, 3 feet from the top.
Went away at 96. Cargo preparing for his at bat. Nobody out. Blackman at first. And this ball lined to right. It's going to get down. And Blackman will hold up at second. Charlie had to make sure that was hit so hard that it didn't stay up for Hunter Pence. So 2 on for Cargo. Boy, that was a rocket.
And to follow it up, again hitting to right field, inside out swing.
Just a great approach.
This whole night has been set up by his approach in his first at bat after going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night, where they pitched him away. Some were on the plate, others were an inch or 2 off, but just enticing enough where he thought he could get to it, he couldn't, and then he gets the sac fly to right to start this whole ball game off.
Cargo, triple, double, strikeout, infield single, and an RBI. Go hit one in the 3rd deck. Finish another cycle off.
Last cycle for the Rockies was Michael Kadire. It's the Cincinnati Reds, 2014.
Well, most Rockies fans will never forget Cargo's cycle.
That one, where he hit it into the upper deck, and the best part about that was walked off the Cubs and it landed in the lap of a Cubs fan.
Yep, it was left on left too.
Sean Marshall.
Yep, Sean Marshall. This is against the Cubs, July 31st, 2010, Upper Tank. Good night. Drive home safely. (0-2). And Osich with straight heat strikes out Cargo. And there's 1 out.
All 3 in the same location.
Nolan needs a triple for a cycle, but more than anything, he wants to find a way to drive in Charlie Blackman at second, give Jake McGee at least a 2-run cushion for the top of the 9th. Rockies fell last night 7-2 in the first Matchup of 19 this year again between the Rockies and Giants. Rockies won the season series the last 2 years. Four ribbies tonight for Arenado. For Walt, he's like all of us. You spectate right now. He's got his big guys up there. Charlie bouncing around, trying to get the blind spot of Osich, because if he can get any kind of jump, even with Nolan up there, and he can get to third, it changes the at-bat for Arenado. It changes the defense for the Giants.
And you don't have to worry about Brandon Crawford anywhere in the picture, because he's swung over into the hole closer to third.
1-1.
Osich still throwing hard after Tommy John surgery at Oregon State his junior year.
And Huey, as you know, you were a good base stealer. One of the other things that factors in, Nolan's 6'2", 6'3" at the plate, so Trevor Brown has to clear himself depending on where the pitch is.
That's the key. Where does he go? Does he go behind Nolan, or would he go in front?
Well, if it's on the inside part of the plate, he goes behind. If it's on the outer portion, he's going to go in front.
Right.
But you still got to clear yourself from a big man.
And you still have to wait to determine where the ball's going. You don't get that luxury of jumping out and then making the throw. You have to wait.
Charlie started and stopped, 2-1. See the shortstop involved, that's the change of signs, right?
Right. But you also have a veteran guy in Brandon Crawford coming out there and maybe with some direction to a younger pitcher and a younger catcher. Helping them out. They go out there, they'll talk about it. Let's change the sign because he's bouncing around.
Never got in there and said, well, they assume we're going to change the sign. Let's keep it the same.
They'll usually end up changing it.
2-1. They put a pick play on.
Still have the timing. Yeah, still have the timing from spring training. Pitchers and managers or whoever's making the call, sometimes after that pick play, then they like to go to an inside move. Not this time.
3-1 on Nolan with Gerardo Parra on deck. Deep left field, way back, take a good look, you won't see it for long. What a night for Nolan Arenado. How about 7 RBIs?
Says the heck with the cycle. I'm just going to hit another home run. It's easier that way. I can just get a trot around. But what he did after he hit this home run is what gets me. So he hits it, and then watch how he looks at the dugout. I love that.
Yeah, that reminded me of one Troy Tulowitzki years ago. This is fisted toward Duffy, makes a diving stop and steals an infield hit from Gerardo Parra.
Nolan now up to 313. You're going to fall behind 3-0. You think you can sneak the fastball past me? 3-1 count. Says I'm going to take it deep.
And I'll tell you what, We just had a great shot. That's a gorgeous shot right there. Nick Hundley at the plate. We had a great shot in the dugout of two tremendous third basemen visiting. One from the past and one just entering his prime. Vinny Castilla and Nolan Arenado shared a moment. And I was thinking of Vinny, Huey, when he hit that ball out. Because this kid, this young kid on the hill, Josh Osich, is throwing 96 plus. And you used to say about Vinny, we all did, you can't, and Vinny would say, you can't sneak the cheese past the rat. Well, you cannot. He would never get beat by a fastball.
No, he would.
And Nolan does not get beat by fastballs on the inner half. He gets the barrel out.
I guarantee you that's what Vinny was saying. Nice try.
We'll ask him later. I think you're 100% right. He said, can't sneak the cheese past the rat. Did he ever knock the stuffing out of that ball?
That was fun.
New career high 7 RBIs for Nolan Arenado. 3-1 on Nick Hundley. And get this, that ties the club record. That's 12 extra base hits.
Kind of lost in that hoopla of the home run, but it also increases the lead to 4.
And most importantly, because this is one of those games, anytime at Coors Field you're in a 1 or 2 run game, you're not feeling real comfortable. And now the Rockies are +4 on the scoreboard. Nick goes down to first. And that'll bring up Ben Paulson. Third time this year the Rockies have scored 10 or more in a game, as Jake McGee is pretty much ready to go. He's been throwing naturally in preparation for the top of the 9th inning, but because the Rockies have thrown a 3 spot up, he's had plenty of time to get his work done. This is going to sneak through. 3rd hit of the night for Paulson. He's a quiet 3 for 5, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But Ben coming through again. The last 2 singles, both of the seeing eye variety. One to pass the second baseman, Joe Panic. This one passes shortstop, Brandon Crawford.
Mayhew waiting for the conference to end between Dave Righetti and his battery of Josh Osich and Trevor Brown.
Just kind of laughing for Ben. He came in on the interstate on 182 and now he's sitting at 313. 3 hits tonight.
Old I-82.
Never wanted to be on the interstate.
Be on the interstate. He'll take rural route 337, right?
That's right. Country Road 313.
18 hits tonight for the Rockies. DJ single, couple of walks and a strikeout. Hundley off second, Paulson off first. How about Nolan jumping from 5 ribbies to a dozen? He trails his teammate Trevor Story by 1 as Trevor drove in a run tonight. He's got 13. And for Nolan, it's the 6th time in his career that he's hit 2 home runs in a game.
And he's tormenting the Giants again like he did last year.
Yeah, good point. Well, he drove in 24 last year against the Giants. That's the most a Rockies ever driven in against one club in a season. And he's already got 7. And actually drove in 1 last night, so he's got 8. He's a third of the way there through 2 ball games. Giants may have to start giving him the Barry Bonds. Three and 1 on LeMahieu. And he walks to load the bases. Brandon Barnes is pinch hitting. He's coming up. You know, it's the last thing that Boch wanted to do, because he's managed a million games at Coors Field. And he knows that you got to extend guys, otherwise you're going to burn your bullpen up. But he's got to bring in George Contos again. Brought him in last night. 10-6 Rockies in the 8th. Ten, 6, 7 RBI night for one Nolan Arenado. A couple of home runs also. Here's our CenturyLink What's Next. Rockies and Giants tomorrow afternoon. No television tomorrow afternoon. And then the Rockies are off to Chicago. And we're back on the air on Friday afternoon. All 3 ball games from Wrigley Field are day games. And then it's to Cincinnati for a 3-game set. Rockies have changed their rotation a little bit. Jorge De La Rosa will go tomorrow, and he's on normal rest. Christian Bergman earlier in the week was slotted to make a spot start Thursday. He'll now make his spot start on Saturday against Jake Arrieta in Chicago. So De La Rosa tomorrow. George Contos with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Brandon Barnes at the plate. A year ago with runners in scoring position, Contos allowed the league to hit just 159. And Barnes hits it in the air to center field. And standing out there waiting is Denard Span. Big 8th inning for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado on a 3-1 fastball. Got extended and left the yard for the 2nd time tonight. Rockies 10 and the Giants 6. 3 outs away from shaking hands. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Wells Fargo. Customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. It's been a great night for the Rockies. They're up 10-6, 18 hits, 12 extra base hits. I think the gang out in center field will find some things to discuss here in a few minutes. Jenny?
Just a few things. The Rockies trying to get a win for Drew's birthday, first of all, and then coming up on the Toyota postgame show, we'll start by talking about the newest addition to Coors Field.
Yeah, the fence is the news story. It had an effect on 3 balls put in play tonight.
Then how about a little spring swing? We're talking Nolan Arenado. He looks as ridiculous as he did at spring training tonight. 2 home runs, 7 career RBIs for him.
Top of the order to ya.
Yeah, that was a terrible
14 hits
accent.
from 1 through 5 hitters tonight. Drew, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You are old.
You are old and you earn a Rockies win, Drew. We'll see you right after the game.
I don't know. Do I thank them after that?
I think you have to.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Jake McGee's on the hill. Brandon Crawford is at the plate. Crawford, Pagan, and Trevor Brown with the Rockies increasing their lead to 4 runs. It was 7-6 after that Brandon Belt home run. How big was that top half of the 8th?
Huge.
Or bottom half of the 8th, I should say.
4-run lead now. But Jake McGee was up. He was loose. He was ready to go. I know some people would say, well, sit him down. It's not a safe situation. But just close the game out. I think that's the bottom line right now. Don't worry about who's getting the save, who's doing what. Jake McGee was loose. He's ready to go. Put him out in the game.
Right, and managers will tell you at Coors Field, 4 runs is a 3-run game. You know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. You don't want to worry about, well, if I save up, put somebody else out there, and then a run or 2 or a couple base runners, then you're bringing them in with traffic.
Right. Oh, and 2 on Crawford, 0 for 3 tonight. Walt Weiss, Charlie Blackmon visiting. I wonder what's going on there. Why is Charlie not on the field?
Barnesy stayed in center.
You start thinking about slides. Were there any dives? It's better that he's talking to the manager than Keith Duggar or Scott Garrett right now. Oh, 2, and that's pulled past Billy Hayes at first. Doesn't look like
well, I'm thinking
there's anything wrong.
Yeah, if it's something major, he would already be headed to the training room.
Right. We'll find out in the postgame show. Stick around. Good pitch. And that's a pitch that he's added a little bit more to his repertoire this year, a curveball.
And it goes back to spring training. Came out trying to improve it, work on it, so he had confidence to throw it.
Pretty good one right there.
Real good one.
Well, I mean, just think, Huey, you batted from the left side, so you're facing a guy who throws in the mid-90s, and in the past, he's 95, 96% fastball, so you just, it's dead red. Now, in the back of your mind, he may drop that curveball out.
And the more he shows it, the more that gets around to the rest of the league.
Don't have to do it a lot, but just a little bit more with effectiveness. His bread and butter obviously is always going to be that heater. 1-0 on Pagan. Switch hitter in from the right side. 1 out in the 9th. Rockies up 10-6. They've out hit the Giants 18-7. Good pitch. Had some cut on it, that fastball, Jeff.
Well, you could tell the way Pagan raised his hands. Pagan hitting .417 right-handed.
Three and one. Three and two.
As you said, Drew, you know what you're going to get 94% of the time. Fastball. Jason Madu's still on the DL. 95.5%. Kenley Jansen, who the Rockies will see in a week to 10 days when they come back off the road with the Dodgers.
Got him.
No, too low.
A little bit. So 1 out walk to Pagan. That'll bring up Trevor Brown. Who had a huge night last night. He's had another good night. Single, a double, and a line drive to center field. He squared it up 3 times tonight. He's driven in a run.
That's the one. It's scary. The one that hits directly on the catcher or the umpire and then drops straight down.
Usually the umpire is going to go and dust off the plate and get the catcher a moment. Rob Drake is talking to Ed Conley. Ball and a strike on Trevor Brown. Two and one. Trevor Brown was already home last year after his minor league season, Huey, for a couple of weeks. And then because of injuries, the Giants called him up and said, hey, we need to call you up because we're short behind the plate.
Rockies did it with Tom Murphy. Same thing. Nick Hundley gets hurt. Hey, Tom, he'll go on that hunting trip. Come join us.
3 and 1. So McGee, who's generally a big-time strike thrower, has walked a man. He's behind Brown, 3 and 1. One of the many appealing things about McGee to the Rockies when they traded Corey Dickerson was his huge strikeout to walk ratio.
Close. As you see, my hand was in the shot a moment ago, just trying to make sure that ball didn't come up here into the booth. I was going to protect the birthday boy.
Well, I guess your eyes are not what they were when you were playing, because that ball was 20 feet to the right of us. But thank you anyhow.
Yeah, just making sure, keeping you safe.
Let me check those glasses you're wearing.
Oh, they're fine.
1 out in the 9th. Pagan at first. 3 and 2 on Trevor Brown. And this is in the air, shallow right. DJ waving his glove as he backpedals. 2 outs. Adrianza is going to pinch hit for the Giants. They're in the pitcher spot. Yeah, no Buster Posey again tonight. He remains day to day. We'll see if he's involved tomorrow afternoon. Strike one.
And Kane going for the Giants tomorrow.
And on the wild pitch, Pagan to second.
Just hope to be able to knock it down if you're Nick, because it hit so far out in front of home plate.
Ground ball to short. On the move to first, Story, and the Rockies have defeated the Giants 10-6. Nice bounce back performance by Colorado this evening. Great work out of the bullpen by Chris Russin. He gets the victories 1-0. Jake Peavy takes the loss. The Rockies tie a club record with 12 extra base hits, and their third baseman drives in 7 tonight. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, Nolan Arenado. Tied for the league lead in home runs last year with Bryce Harper at 42. Led all of Major League Baseball with 130 RBIs. And he is making a big statement again in the month of April. Huge night for Nolan. Career best 7 ribbies. The Rockies 10 and the Giants 6. They even up this set at 1 apiece, and tomorrow afternoon will be the rubber game. Let's get you to center field. It's time for Jenny, Corey, and Spilly. Jenny, all yours.
Thanks so much, Drew. We're looking forward to the Toyota post-game show. Lots of records being set tonight, and Trevor, he's just part of the story.
Yeah, great job by Chris Russin coming in for long relief. 2 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts. He did a good job.
I like Nolan. Nolan's good.
We'll talk lots of Nolan coming up right after this.